All right, here we go. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, Jeet Kune Do Rebel. It's Monday, September 3rd, and we are getting ready to go live with Anthony Fontana. And give me 1 second here. I think he's already here, and bring him on. He must be. I wonder if he's military also. Let's see. I hope I'm adding the right person. Hang on 1 sec. In any case, this is episode number 17 of the Jeet Kune Do Dialogues. Thanks for everybody is coming. Geez, it must be raining cats and dogs where you guys are. That everybody's able to come online at 3 p.m. on a Monday. It is you. I didn't recognize your logo.
Sorry about that.
What's happening?
How you doing today?
Hey, good. Can you do the T-shirt thing? Just sit up so everybody can. What do you have?
I'm rocking my T-shirt.
Okay, show them the UMA.
UMA, and you have the extra A.
All right, watch this. So here is the UAA.
Exactly. and then that's how we met last year. I was like, nice shirt.
So last year, listen to this, guys. Last year in November, we're at the New Breed seminar with Sifu Dan.
Mm-hmm.
I see Mr. Fontana, and I walk over to him. And I go, hey, man, you're missing an A on your shirt.
And I was like, oh, man. Crazy.
And only afterwards did I go, wait, that guy must think I'm a complete moron because I didn't even introduce myself or anything.
No, I knew who you are.
But anyhow, so long story short, that's how Mr. Fontana and I. Now, I call him son informally when he and I are talking because I'm pretty sure I'm old enough to be your grandfather.
Probably. But I looked up to you for a while, Sifu.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So fill in the background for me. My impression was that you trained under Dan Anderson.
Yes.
In Manhattan. Is that correct?
Yes, I was at Anderson's martial arts for about like 9 years almost.
Okay.
I received my black belt from Sifu Anderson as well too.
Okay, and then about how long ago was it that you guys opened Unlimited?
18 months now. September 7th makes 18 months.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my wires crossed, and I thought you opened up about 8 years ago.
Oh no. 18 months.
No.
18. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you are a co-founder of Unlimited.
Yeah, exactly. So me and my Sihing Phil Cruz,
okay.
we trained at Anderson's together.
Okay.
Yeah, Sifu Cruz was the head senior staff instructor there for about 20 years. And when I joined, I trained at the school, but then, Sifu Phil became my teacher. I trained with him privately for throughout that duration, about 8 years. So I was one of his longest students. And, we developed a bond. And, 3 or 4 years ago, he mentioned to me that if he ever opened up a school, he would do it with me because he appreciated my work ethic and my passion for martial arts. And here we are today. So.
All right. Okay. So let's do the chronological thing. So before Anderson's, had you trained in anything in particular?
Yeah. When I was about 21 years ago now, I started boxing, and then I was into Aikido and Kempo.
Okay.
And, I got into that obviously, I grew up in Lower Manhattan, so I was bullied a lot, so I needed to learn something how to defend myself because New York wasn't as pretty as it is today. And
it's pretty today.
Sort of, some areas.
Yeah.
In that time, I didn't, I always knew about Bruce Lee, Sijo Bruce Lee, and I loved, Jeet Kune Do. And it was funny when I was like 16, with my best friend at the time, we would train at his sister's house. Her husband at the time was a Jeet Kune Do Filipino martial artist, and he was teaching us all these things that, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Like, he taught us Hubad and split entry series and stuff like that, and that stuck with me. But then I continued to box, and then I stumbled into Anderson's martial arts. And like, you know, I went to their Panatukan class, and like I was like, whoa, this is exactly what I've always been looking for, because not many schools, you know, publicized it then. And I was hooked, and I, you know, just nonstop training, you know, since then. And then that's where I met Guru Dan Inosanto too. I know him for about 10 years, and that man has inspired me for, you know, all this time. He continues to do so as well.
Yeah.
You know?
So Fontana.
Yes, sir.
Is that Spanish or Italian?
Italian. Italian.
Okay, so no wonder you box.
Yeah.
From New York. You're
Yeah.
Italian. You got to box.
Yeah, my grandfather was a boxer as well too, and he also played for the New York Giants many moons ago. And he served our country in World War II. He was in Tripoli, you know, came back with a Purple Heart, Silver Star, all that always inspired me. And my brother served him. He was in the Marines and stuff like that. So another term, this is how I give back to. I train some military guys too. So I'm doing my part now. You know.
Well, so that's why, quite like Juan Perez on Friday, you were right on time. When you know like you were logged on before I was.
Yeah. Yeah, I respect the clock, you know, so
yeah,
it's part of my work ethic. I mean, you know, years ago too, like I worked in recording studios, and you know, always time, you know, you had to be on time. I remember I got fired on like a gig because I was 15 minutes late. Usually people allow 15 minutes. I'm like, all right, let me respect the clock. So it's always been in my, you know, part of my work ethic.
So what was the have you always lived in Brooklyn, or did you live in Manhattan?
No, I grew up in Lower Manhattan. So like I grew up in Tribeca. I was about I lived 4 blocks from the World Trade Center my whole life. But my family had established a building in Little Italy, like on Mulberry and Hester Street in Chinatown. So like, I was always like, you know, downtown on the west side and the Lower East Side. But you know, growing up there in the 80s and early 90s wasn't safe. I mean, it was an interesting time. And but my family, they settled here in like the early 1900s. When my grandmother came to the country, she settled in Harlem, and then in the 50s she came down to Grand Street. So
I have been fascinated by New York even before my career in the airline industry enabled me to visit New York on a fairly regular basis. Even as a kid growing up in Barbados, I was always fascinated with New York. So much so that movies like Crossing the Land Sea, Moonstruck, you know, I mean, classic New York movies.
Yeah, like Mean Streets too, like all the Scorsese films.
They number among my favorite films of all time, right? So let me ask, so what's the greatest thing about being a New Yorker?
Wow, okay. Wow, that's a good question. I think the fact that we're brought up, like, you know, with so many cultures, it's interesting in that there's so many people here. It's like you really don't care about what anyone is or what they do. Like I see everyone equally, as opposed to like growing up in the States where you see there's a difference on how people view you. I think, and like the fact that it's such like a hustle and bustle, like we're just concerned about ourselves. We don't care if a person's walking naked in front of us or something like that. I've seen wild things here, but But the fact that, like, you know, I've been exposed to so many cultures, race, people with sexual preference, like, you know, it's a beautiful thing in a sense where that we're exposed to it and we accept it, because we're just, you know, we're all the same, just trying to get by. You know? Yeah.
How does that relate then and transfer into your martial art?
Well, this is the beauty of it. I mean, like when you say like Jeet Kune Do or what Sijo Lee did with the Jeet Kune Do mind, you know, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be training. You know, I mean, then it was like only meant for the Asian culture. So you know, he bridged the gap where, you know, this was for everyone. You know, because at the end of the day, it's art, right? And we're learning how to express ourselves, and you know, that it's a wonderful thing. But like that, or even like with Jeet Kune Do, the fact that you study many things, not just one, and you make it yours. Like you don't look at something or you're biased to one thing, or you knock this or you knock that. You accept it all. You study it, you know, in depth, and then you make it yours. So, I mean, it's really interesting. Like it's really been a part of my life, you know, the whole time. I just never really tuned into it until I started, like, you know, really getting involved like 10 years ago. You know, it's beautiful. Like when you start thinking about this. So
what about I lost my train of thought. Okay, what's the worst thing about being a New Yorker?
The stereotype that we're mean.
What, you mean like you're Italian, so you
Yeah,
must
yeah.
box
Also like, because I'm Italian, people expect me to have this like heavy accent, or like I'm just a normal guy, like, you know. But it's funny when I get angry, or if I'm around certain people, like it comes out, and I'm like, oh, let me stop for a second. Yeah, no, it's just interesting though. Like a lot of people have moved out of the city because it's become so expensive. It's gentrified, so that's why, like, I'm the last of a certain culture there. That's what I feel. My generation is, rather, you know. So
is culture, historical accuracy, legacy, are those kinds of things important to you as an individual?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Inside and outside of martial art.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All of that, because like I like to like study things and understand where it came from, why it happened. I mean, that's the type of person I am, the type of student I am.
Right.
Like I would always ask questions like why, what's the roots, where the origins, and then you understand it more, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any little ones of your own that you have to pass on to?
No, one day I do hope so, though.
Not yet. Okay. Yeah.
But I guess the little ones are the little dragons that we train here now. So.
What age do you start those at?
4 years old and up. So.
Okay.
4 to 13 is the kids program. Obviously, you have a junior program, and then they enter the adult program at 14. But our goal is to make them unbelievable by then. When the adults see that, they're gonna be like, oh man, I got to step my game up.
Yeah. I gotta ask you this thing about New York. I read once that New York is actually built on top of a whole bunch of some people call them tunnels, but some people say that it's this huge energy vortex. Have you ever?
You know, it's funny. My oldest brother believes that there's like this certain riff of like energy that like it's on on a plane or like on certain lines. Yeah, it's
and that's why so many people are drawn to New York.
Yeah. I mean, again, New York, it's one of a kind. Like I've traveled the world. I've been to many cities and stuff. It's very convenient. But I must say, though, it's lost its culture because it's become so corporate. I don't know if you understand what I mean by that. It's like the mom and pop dream. And in Manhattan, I'm talking about, like, you know, New York City, when you think about it. Businesses and stuff are run by big corporations that have money that need to, like, allocate their funds to, like, show loss and stuff like that. But there's not enough of music or arts being spread like the way it was growing up. I don't know. It's very weird. Like I love like New Orleans because you have the jazz scene, the art scene, everything's out in the street and everybody's having a good time. I mean, granted, there's some dangerous parts, like as in anywhere, but I think New York lost that, or they think about how we can make money on it as opposed to just making people free about it.
Yeah. When I moved to Miami, we had jazz clubs. Still, they don't exist anymore. And I've always said that you live in a real town if jazz musicians can make a living in in your city.
Yeah, wow.
Right.
I get it.
Funny that you mentioned New Orleans, because my first time in New Orleans was in 1991 with Sifu and Asano, and then I fell in love with the place, and just before the airlines went under, I went back to New Orleans every month over a 6-month period. I'd be back there, checking out the music scene and what have you, right? So, okay, so you talked about the jazz, but now you got to talk about the food.
Okay, I know. I see. I know you follow my posts. A lot of people do. I love food. I mean, hey, and apparently I take really good pictures of it. I mean, I grew up in a family that cooks. We have a restaurant, so it's funny. I was in the business for a while too, and
okay.
Sorry about that. So I grew up in the business, and like I appreciate it. I appreciate chefs and what they do, and like I understand like what it takes to to create something in the kitchen and bring it to your table and eat it. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like food like is culture. Food's everything. I mean, you can. It's like it's funny. Like when you tune into your senses, be it audible or something visual or something that you can taste. It like it triggers memories, or like it makes you have a better time, or maybe a worse time. Depends on it. But I really appreciate that, and that transcends too in like martial arts, I guess too. It's like, you know, always using our senses for something. But with food, I mean, there's nothing like a good meal, and like I know in New York we have about 30,000 restaurants to choose from these days, which is that's a lot of good eating. So, but I usually go to like my favorite spots, or I know some chefs too. They'll call me up and be like, "Hey, Aunt, come by," and you know, just try to promote their place or spread love too. But I've had excellent meals. Like, you know, some of the best things I've had are in like little places you wouldn't even think about going to eat because it looks like all a little sketchy. But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's part of my life.
So what, I mean, even from just watching videos of you guys at Unlimited, I can feel the family atmosphere even amongst the adults.
Thank you so much that you see that. That's one of me and Phil, Sifu Phil. That's one thing we wanted. Like, you know, the way we are towards each other is that's what we want for our students here, and it's a beautiful thing that everybody helps each other. Not that like there's like you know, a seniority or like, you know, an elite, and then, you know, the rest of us. We are all equals. I even explained to them too, like, you know, I'm a student. I might be a teacher, but like, you know, sometimes I'll do things that'll blow up in my face. I'm not perfect. I'm human. You know, I teach a lot of weapon stuff, but I tell them like right away, I'm afraid. You know, you know, obviously if you see something like this, you run for your life. But if you have no choice, you engage. But I think like that we show that we're human and that we love, and we want people to stop putting limits in their brain that they can't do something, and show them that, hey, yes, you can if you just do it. You know, I mean, it takes but repetition and belief. You know, you can achieve all the things that you want, you know? So it means obviously some people advance, you know, easier than others. Some people it takes a while, but that's okay. But everybody here at UMA or UMA, whatever you want to call it, they're out to help each other, grow with each other, build each other. And that's what we always want. That's what, because again, too, like I'm in it because martial arts saved my life. It saved my life on many levels, you know, and I'm giving back as much as I can. And I want people, like, you know, the word save being like an emotional thing, or you're having a bad day, like you come here, you forget about it. Because like Phil was there for me too in like hard times that I had. He'd call me up and be like, hey man, come on, let's train, let's do it, because this is therapy, as you know, and it's just really beautiful. I'm so happy that we have that, and like it's going to continue that way. So we're going strong with that. But yeah, we do things for the students too. Like we'll have picnics, we'll have movie nights, stuff like that. We always want to like make it more than just, all right, we're just here, you know, beating each other up. And like, we're here. We actually like we should become friends. And should when I call you my brother or my sister, you are my brother or my sister. I'm not just saying it just to like, you know, put it out there. So I truly mean it.
Yeah. When if it's not too personal, can you give me an example of how martial arts saved your life?
Okay. I mean, for a while, like, I mean, growing up from 8 to about 13, 14 years old, you know, when there was hard times in my life when I was bullied and stuff like that, I kind of like was very angry. When I started boxing and Aikido and Kempo, all like, you know, in that time, like I realized, one, I'm not alone. There's people that are very similar to me, you know, that are very like into art, or like we like computers or reading comic books or whatever. And then I found that, you know, wow, you know, we can actually, we can, you know, relieve the stress, or we can actually talk about things and not be judged or abused in some way because of what we like. And when I started like training in, like with the Jeet Kune Do and the Filipino martial arts too, like through expression, like, you know, when we talk about like Star Wars and we talk about Kali and stuff, like, you know, actually like, wow, this actually, you know, I actually agree with you on this. So it saved me in a way where like I had that sense of like I said, like I'm not alone. Like, there's people out there that are just like me, you know. And then there was a time too, like when I was going through my divorce, and I was kind of like going down a dark path, like with just, you know, emotional stuff. And like that's when Phil would like call me up and be like, come on, let's train. And like our training got really like, you know, entailed. I was doing a lot of chi saos into Wing Chun, like, you know, that moment, you know, like as a Jeet Kune Do artist, we always, you know, dabble into different things to build different attributes. And he kept me in check, and I love the guy for that too, because I could have like fallen really bad, and he kept me up. So those are just a few examples.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. You just used the phrase Jeet Kune Do artist, and when we first started talking about doing this program together, there were a couple of things that you posted, and you used the phrase Jeet Kune Do martial artist. So
Mhm.
define that for me. What does it mean to be a Jeet Kune Do martial artist?
Hey, okay, the Jeet Kune Do martial artist one. Um, it's not that it's our style is all style. You know, it's Jeet Kune Do. Obviously, I mean, I understand that Sujo Lee didn't want to call it that, but we got to understand that
Mm-hmm.
we are capable. We're not just committed to one thing. A Jeet Kune Do artist, as you know, we adapt and we can flow to like anything that comes our way if we've trained enough in that range of combat. Because some people are just like gung ho, like I'm this, I'm that, which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you say I'm trying to be like an advocate for what Jeet Kune Do is, because it's many things. It's not just one. Even like Sifu Kempit Seaman too. He talked about the JKD mindset, as you know. You guys again inspire me all the time too, and like things click in my head when I read your posts, and it's like we're not the best at one thing. You know, we're very good at a lot of things too, but if you can relate to what it is that we do. Some people, when I tell them I do Jeet Kune Do, they're like, "Oh, you guys just do finger jabs and break kneecaps." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's more than that." You know, it's like again, the ability to adapt and respond. That it sets us apart from a lot of people, a lot of different artists. That's what I believe,
Yeah,
at least. Hmm?
yeah. Okay.
So,
Um, so now dialing back, what did you keep from boxing as you got further and further into martial art training? What did you keep from boxing?
oh, the footwork, the head movement. I started training Kali. Like I didn't believe in Kali at first. I'm like, sticks and like all this knife. But then I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! This actually, your hand-eye coordination increases. It's like you start moving in ways you never even thought possible. And even Guru Inasanto told me that. He's like, you put a knife in your hand, you're gonna move, or somebody's coming at you with a knife, you're gonna see, that footwork's gonna get better. I'm like, okay, seeing is the foundation. If you don't know how to protect yourself, keep your chin down and like move and zone, it's you need that for your foundation, and then you can expand.
Yeah.
Again, like if you're building a house, right? The most important thing's foundation. So, you know, yeah, but boxing also, it's a great workout
Would,
too, and then you start hitting things, it releases hormones, you feel great,
right.
so it's a win-win.
Yeah. Were you big time into fitness from a young age, or did that
Oh yeah.
come later on?
Yeah. I mean, because no, because when I was younger and like I was small, I had a big head, little body. Like I remember like picking up a Men's Health magazine at 15, and like it started talking about anatomy and like how to work out and stuff. So I've been training myself since I'm about 15. Like always at the gym, just trying. I was into like different things. I was like, oh, I want to be a bodybuilder. And then I'm like, wait, I can't move like this big, so I just want to stay fit. So. But always, I mean, again, too. Then when I started training people,
Were you
I
ever
would train like fighters. Or I'm sorry, what? Go up, sir.
were you ever a personal trainer?
Oh yeah. No, I was. I still am. I have my NSCA certification, but I worked for Equinox for a little while as well too, just to get a better understanding. Also, like train
Right.
people with that had like special issues or special populations, people that had diabetes or knee replacements or hip replacements, because I would just train normal people or fighters or whatever, and I never had someone to challenge me like that. And then I also understood the business side of fitness as well too while working there.
Okay. So you were somewhat properly prepared for your own school,
So, sorry.
business wise, education wise, and so on. Correct?
Oh, I'm sorry, you broke up. I
I
couldn't
said
hear what you gone.
okay. I said that you were properly prepared for running your own business, for opening up a martial arts school because of the things you had done previously, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course. I mean, I had a dessert company. I ran restaurants, and I had a business background. I mean, actually growing up in the business as well. But a martial arts school. I mean, again, it's hospitality, but it's a lot different than having a cash flow business where you're making money every day. I'm still learning stuff too, but I mean, but thank
Yeah.
God, Phil is my partner. He's been in the business, like share ideas. on how to grow it. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's our intellectual property that's, you know, the product and how we teach, and that's what keeps people here, or they move on, whatever they want to do. But for the most part, people love what we're doing. They love our approach to how we teach, and also the other instructors that make up Team Unlimited. We have a great crew here, and everybody has the same heart, and very like-minded individuals. It's truly a beautiful thing. And I think, you know, the issue though, well, it's not an issue, but we are like the newest Jeet Kune Do Academy that opened in this area for about 20 years. So it's like a lot of people are like, all right, who are you guys? So some people will come in and like they'll take like a class and just see, and they're like, oh, okay, you guys know what you're doing. I'm like, well, yeah, we're humbled always, but again, happens.
I thought that when you're a resident of one of the 5 boroughs, you pretty much stick to your borough.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, for business, like in Manhattan, I mean, I don't mind, like where I live to get to here, it only takes 15 minutes, but Manhattan is way overpriced. For a business owner and stuff too, like, all right, I have 3,000 square feet, and I'd be able to afford it in Manhattan, unless like I started with 500 students. Then I'm like, sure, yeah, I can afford a place in Manhattan. So that's why we're in Williamsburg, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
You know.
All right, but
I mean, down by you,
Okay, wait. Now you're breaking up. Yeah. No, I mean, it's been raining here. I don't know what kind of weather you guys have in New York, but it's been raining in Miami since about 4 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a beautiful day here.
The interference is probably on my end. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me about the idea behind the structure of your curriculum. Let's do the kids first. When a kid walks through the door, when a parent walks through the kid, what's the idea behind what you're going to give them?
Oh, well, I mean, but the first thing is, like, a lot of the parents, they don't know what Jeet Kune Do is or what we're about to teach them. They think they're signing their child up for a kung fu class, and we're like, whoa, try the class out, see what it's about, because we teach them culture and the arts. We teach them the language as well too. And after their trial class, I mean, they love the other kids here. They come in, but when it comes to the curriculum, with the Jeet Kune Do program, we follow Sifu Phil, because that's it. It's his structure. He's the one that's, you know, he's an instructor on the Guru and the Santo, so that's his forte.
Okay.
You know. Yeah.
And now,
sorry.
You mentioned him being an instructor under Sifu Dan. You yourself are an instructor under Ron Balicki.
I'm an instructor on. Well, I'm beginning my path for instructorship under Guru Ron, because I started training with him in 2014, and I'm an intermediate Jeet Kune Do student of his. But I'm an instructor under Peter Wyckoff from Vienna, Austria, and I teach Sammy Sims.
Yes. Okay. So now, tell me how that came.
Sorry, Peter Wyckoff.
Yes.
Sorry, you broke up again. With Peter, he's a great guy. So I've been training with him for like many years. I mean, I got to thank the internet for all this. Obviously, you know, it really brings really good people together. Many years ago, you know, when you figure out what kind of martial artist you are, like, I really love Filipino martial arts, and I love Panatukan or Suntukan, and I googled combative Panatukan just for the hell of it, and then I see Sammy and Peter Wyckoff and him doing all these crazies, and like how to really, you know, bring pressure to someone. I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting. And and back in 2016, my friend Dewey, he actually hosted a seminar with Peter. It was his first time here in America, and he invited me over. He's like, come on, try the course out, whatever. And like, I was just amazed. I was like, wow, these guys really have an interesting system. Their approach to it is phenomenal. And Peter Wyckoff, you know, he's got the same, like that Jeet Kune Do mindset where you see things, you create, you develop, you make it yours. And his structure on how he teaches, it instructors because you find ways to create, which is great. But I also think, though, it has to do with my years of training that allows me to see this, because like Guru Inasanto told me too, he's like the intelligent martial artist sees the links and everything, and then you can be able to create from that. So I have to thank him for that too. So but yeah, so I mean, I was honored that he made me an instructor. I was the first one in New York for him to represent his systems. I try to do my best for it, and so because I believe in what they do, and I like that with him, with Guru Ran, even yourself too, and a lot of people that I met too. We're very genuine. We're genuine with ourselves, the material and stuff like that. We actually want to see you do better. Like we don't think less or more of each other. We're all equals, and I appreciate that because I really like to attract people that are similar to me and my mindset, that have a good heart. It's really hard to find in this world.
Yeah. Give me an idea of your daily schedule. Like, when do you wake up? What's the first thing that happens, and then what's the first thing before you go to bed?
Oh, okay. Okay. So my day in the life, huh? So usually, like, I mean, I've been on routine since I opened up UMA, because obviously it's a new school, like stress levels are really high. So I'll wake up, I'll do a morning, I'll have my breakfast or whatever, but I have to do like a morning post. As you know, with the internet and social media, you have to constantly put things out there. So that's a job in itself, and I handle that. I'm trying to do a good job with it because, like, again, people don't know who we are, and it's my goal to make sure people know who we are. So that's how that starts. Then I get to I'll have like a private student, or I have to do something, here for the school. So I'll take care of that. Then at the school, depending on who's here, every hour I'm a different martial artist. So it's like, so I'll teach like, either FMA or boxing 1 hour, then Muay Thai, then, all right, then we got to do weapons, then we got to do the Jeet Kune Do, then we got to do my fitness class. And thank God for Coach Fernando, because I don't teach jiu-jitsu. But it's a lot, because like it's not one system, as you know, and it's like you have to gauge who's in the class too, and then create and adjust from there. So come 9 o'clock when we close, I'm mentally burnt out, and obviously through the middle of the day I got to do another post for online or whatever. Obviously get something good to eat if I can, post that too to make people hungry, and then that's how it's been, which I don't mind. I mean, because nothing's easy. You gotta if you really care, you gotta take care of the baby, right? Uma's the baby right now, so I'm taking care of that, and I love it, and I think my passion shows for how much I love this and what I want to do, and I really just I want this to be a force to be reckoned with. Like, when people think of us, they're like, wow, these guys are good. Everybody there is good. They're just a genuine heart, and they care. They actually care about this, because it's up to us to preserve Jeet Kune Do and all the arts that are with it. So I truly believe in that.
Right.
And that's how it is currently.
You said that that when the parents bring the kids in. You said that when the parents bring the kids in. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So you said that when the parents bring the kids in, the parents think they're signing them up for in a kung fu class. So my question is,
kung fu or like
why do you think? Yeah. So why do you think the Jeet Kune Do? Why do you think Jeet Kune Do is still not as well known as other things out there?
I think it has to solely do with people, present it. Again, too, it's like, when you think of kung fu, you think of everybody in their gi and they're doing like katas and stuff like that, or from and stuff like that. It's like, I think there needs to be more unification in us Jeet Kune Do practitioners in order to spread it the right way. But I really do feel that it's mainstream marketing. Someone or some show like, hey, wait. It's all arts. This is what we do, and really make people understand that. What I do know is that the parents that come here, when they see that we teach them, Wing Chun, we teach them Kali, we teach them Muay Thai, and they're just amazed because like the kids are more focused and more disciplined, and like it's challenging, and they love it. They can't wait to come back and like see what's up next for the next test and stuff like that. And it's amazing that we're changing their view on life. So to me, it's the most challenging class because one, their attention spans are like, so we got to make it fun and interesting. But to watch them progress and like the way they move, one, they're not afraid, and also two, from like they could do proper deadlifts and squats better than adults. But it's truly it's what keeps me going now, you know.
Yeah. What about the adults who come to your school? What are they looking for?
Mm-hmm. They're looking for. Well, I mean, okay, so yeah, I mean, that's a good question too. I mean, we have all walks of life here. We train a lot of people in the stunt community, a lot of people that are fitness enthusiasts, a lot of people that are just normal day-to-day workers, and they just need to relieve stress. I think, I think they're just trying to find a way to discover things more or discover themselves better, or a sense of community where like there's no UK to not be great, at everything, that it takes time to get there. But what's cool is like, our classes are relatively, they're not so large that we give everybody individual attention. And I think they love that. They love that we actually care, that, we're approachable. And, it's our mission to bring the best out of them, and which we are doing.
Do you have adults who walk in saying specifically that they're looking for Jeet Kune Do?
Oh, yes, some people, yes. Yeah, some people, exactly. Like, they went to old Jeet Kune Do schools, or, then they found us on the internet. They saw like something that I posted or on our website, and they're like, "Whoa, can I take a class?" And then what they do is they want to see like our knowledge, and we know a lot of stuff, and then they're like, "Whoa, okay, cool." And then even one of the benefits, or like what I appreciate when I train with Guru Baliki, is that he's really big on the language, and so I'm speaking all Cantonese and Tagalog, and they're like, "Whoa, how do you know this stuff?" Like, I gotta know it. It's part of the Mars curriculum. I need to know it. So I don't mind. And then it's funny. Then I train with Guru in the South, and he's like, "You're in America, speak English." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you. Okay." But I enjoy it. I enjoy it because I appreciate the history and I appreciate the culture. So that's me. That's the martial artist I am.
So I love the UMA logo.
Oh, thank you.
Who
Yeah,
designed them?
Okay, so there's a whole story on that too. So the kabuto, actually, even the samurai like that you see, right? If you notice that the helmet is pointed up, that represents the general. Just so you know. So we had many logos come in and out. Actually, a friend of ours from Italy designed it. Actually, he created also the font, so that's like our font too. And if you notice with the A, it looks like a belt almost. It was at first we used the Torii gate, and because in Japan I was really inspired by the Shinto religion, and I just love that, like, because Torii gate, when you enter, it just means like you're entering a sacred place, and that sacred place is yourself. But it looked too much like that first logo with the Torii gate looked like a yoga studio, and like, hey, it really doesn't like call martial arts. So then we found the kabuto, and like with the mask, what it means is that anyone can put it on at any time, not just us. Like, we're not just the general. You could be the general. You could be the leader. And when the students see that, they're like, "Whoa, wait." And I'm like, "Yeah, you can teach us one day. That's totally fine, because we're students of life. We're not just students of one thing. Like, we're constantly with each other. It's very important to do that." So it's also very cool. It's very cool looking.
Because it's gorgeous, right? I looked at it and I thought, I wonder if these guys were ever influenced by Japanese anime or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, my whole life. I mean, I remember like Ninja Scroll was one of my favorite movies. I was like, whoa, I was totally into that. Again, I'm the description of a martial art geek, or whatever you want to call me. Like, I love all that stuff,
Yeah.
So and so does Phil. This is why we get along, and all the people that we train with. So yeah. But also when I was in Japan, that really inspired.
Okay. What makes your relationship and Phil, because you guys are like Jerry Seinfeld and George Costanza. right? What?
That's a good. Well, no, I mean, that's funny. That's funny. I mean, what
No,
makes us what? What makes our relationship?
listen.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. What makes it?
Sorry. What makes it? I mean, well, it's funny. It's like when we started training together years ago. Like, we realized that we were very similar. One, he was bullied too a lot, so we had a lot of social anxiety growing up, and we just really loved martial arts and the whole Bruce Lee concept thing. And then, like, his love for Star Wars too. So it's like when we're training, that's like we're talking about all this kind of stuff. But then, like, he really appreciated what we're doing, because, like, obviously, like, different Jeet Kune Do
Yeah,
schools, they stick to like their kind of curriculum, but I wanted to know more. I'm like, wait, there's got to be more than just what we're learning here, so he's like, all right, let's study, let's go, more knowledge, let's keep doing it, let's go into more like
right.
Chisao drills or whatever it is, or like with Pilat and stuff like that. I mean, as you've traveled, you see some guys, like, stick to, a few things out of the 1-2 series or a few things out of the 1-3 series, and then they don't create from that. And it's like, okay, or even like King Choi Gua Choi, there's so many things you can do, but people are just stuck in like, all right, this is all I
Right.
want to teach, and then you do this for 5 years straight, and I'm okay, like I just did, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why? Yeah. Why is that idea of individual creativity so important to you?
Because that's art.
Because because in Shotokan karate, for example, they're doing what has always been done, and that is an honorable tradition.
Oh, of course, no, that's fine, but I mean,
So
but I think
yeah,
from what Sijo Lee, like when Sijo Lee started Jeet Kune Do, what it had, like 26 different systems within it, and I think the ability to go beyond that, to be the true artist, because you're trying to really express yourself, and what makes up you're different than me, in like your body type or what you move or what arts you're more drawn to. Like, for a while, like, I liked to box and I was looking at Muay Thai, I was like, but then I was like, yo, Muay Thai is awesome, like, you guys gotta try it. And then I mean, it's really like, I think you have to go beyond that, because, like I said, it's art, and art is expression, and art is always evolving, and art is like, I'm trying to just make a better version of my time, even what Sifu Phil told me, one time we're training, and he's like, yeah, think of yourself, you have like a piece of marble and you're chipping away at it. You're not very good at first, and you're trying to make an image of yourself, but then as you train more, you start smoothing out your edges, and then you're getting a better statue of yourself. And that's always stuck with me too. So, but it's our ability to go beyond, but obviously go back and, like, represent. Like, I love the John Fon material. I'll teach what Sijo Lee did from the in the 60s and stuff, and I have to thank Guru Baliki for that. And I love it. But again, it's not 1967, 1970 anymore. People are bigger, they're different, they know the whole MMA craze. Like, you can't be doing all this kind of stuff. So then, how do you adjust? How do you adapt? If you can't adjust and you can't adapt, then what's the
right,
point of Jeet Kune Do?
right.
So
Yeah.
that's my.
Okay. See, I didn't know what your answer was, but I knew you'd have a good answer.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
I mean, I respect
And
everything.
I just want,
I respect. I'm sorry, you broke up again.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You broke up too. So no, I just wanted people to be aware that your generation of instructors, that you guys actually have your heads on straight.
I hope so. I
You know,
hope a lot of us think like this.
yeah,
So, again, it's like, again, though, it's like, it's where are they from? Who taught them? Like, the way to think and stuff like that. I mean, I've been in some places where you weren't allowed to think outside the box. And it's like, but why? Why can't we do that?
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And here, it's like, I'll have my students, I'm like, find, discover if you can, if you can,
Right.
So.
Yes. All right.
But I think also too,
okay.
like,
all right. So
thing
listen.
with, discovery. I think. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead.
you broke up. Oh no! No! Sorry, it's okay.
Okay.
You're cutting in and.
So I don't want to take up too much more of your time.
Oh, it's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect now.
Okay. All right. So one of the things I wanted to start doing with the Dialogues show is to have whoever I'm in dialogue with recommend one or two or three people that they would like to see appear on the show, and then I'll do what I can to get in touch with them. So can you think of anyone?
Yeah, I can think of a few people. But off my head, I would love for you to have Sifu Phil Cruz on. You know, it's my brother and my mentor. I think you'd really love his viewpoint on Jeet Kune Do and like the things he's told me. You know, he's a great man. I would have to say out in Chicago, Sifu Randy Ciorda. He's really a big inspiration to me too. The guy knows his stuff, and the way he teaches is brilliant, really. Let me see a third person. That's a good question. Who would I like to see on the Dialogues? Maybe,
Because
you know what?
I know that
out of respect, you know, even though, you know, for what he's done for me all my years, maybe Sifu Dan Anderson. Yeah, Sifu Dan Anderson. I would, you know, because like he's a very, very, very good martial artist, and he's a great teacher too. I mean, he taught us, so I have respect for the man.
Yeah.
So you can get him on. I like to see his viewpoints too. Yeah.
Okay. I know that you know, not everybody is how should I put this? I want to be gentle. Not everybody is as in tune and you know, interested in what we do here on the program. So what about first or second generation people? Can you think of anybody?
Oh, I mean, we already had Guru Baliki on. You know, so he's like the biggest inspiration to me. Have you had Eric Paulson on?
No, we're in touch and working on that.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant man. I mean, that's just, or even like, what about Joel? You know, Guru Joel, he's awesome. I mean, me and him, we talk like every time I see him, we're talking about food, about surfing, all that stuff. He's like, wow, I'd like to see his story too. You know?
Yeah. I don't know if he has the time. He's a busy guy.
I know he's busy. He can make time. He can make, what's 45 minutes? Come on. I'm not joking.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I want to thank you for making the time for doing this with me today.
Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of respect for you and what you've done, and watching you like move last year with Sifu Seaman. You guys like just blow my mind all the time, and like I'm trying to be like you guys. So I thank you every day. You know, I thank you guys for what you did for us, because without you, we wouldn't be here.
You know, I appreciate that, and you're very welcome. All right, so that's it. Thanks again. Go enjoy the rest of the day, and make sure to send me a picture of what you're eating later.
Yes, I will. And also, I'll send you a shirt as well, too. You know?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, guys.
All right.
Peace.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
What is that? The 7th? Yeah, Friday the 7th will be with Michael Marcellus Brown, who I know was on the show today. Michael is a longtime student of the late, great Larry Hartzell. So he's an old timer. So he'll have a lot of interesting things for us to talk about. All right, so that's it. Everybody enjoy the rest of your holiday, and I'll see you back here on Facebook in a couple of days. Take care.